is called an organization because there are many people. Where an organization cannot be called an organization if we have only one person in that organization. But where we have numerous number of people in an institution, it qualifies to be an organization. And because of the numerous number of people in a certain organization, these people will are likely to relate with each other. And in these relations, they in this particular kind of relations, they will share um, ideas, they will share maybe opinions and all that. So human relations is very important, and that's why it is an area of study that we'll be looking at. So let's start by defining what this human relation is. When you talk of human relations, we are talking of the relationship that exists between people in a particular workplace or professional setting. Yes, we'll be looking at how people relate or interact with one another in the workplace. For example, consider a person by the name John, who is a very talented project manager, but he does not have human relations skills. Um, he's likely to be able to plan and come up with the good ideas, but because he does not have the human relation skills, his plans that will come he will come with are likely to fail. And why will they fail? Because of lack of human relations skill. Even at your home, at your homestead, if you don't relate with each other well, that particular homestead or that particular homesteader will not have peace, it will not have unity, because of lack of this simple thing that we are referring to as human relations. So that's when we talk of human relations. If this person that we are talking of, John, the project manager, will have proper human relation skills, there will be some benefits that he will earn as a result of having those good human relation skills. One, he will be able to execute his plans very fast and well. You'll also be able to get different opinions and skills from different members of his organization or his institutions. And from those particular different people or members, um, he will be able then to make his project better by enriching it with ideas or opinions from other people. So that's how good human relations is. And as I've said, anybody or in an organization where human relations are not enhanced or are not encouraged, the organization is doomed or is likely to fail. So that's why we'll be looking at this particular theme. So let's look at the importance of human relations. What are what are the benefits, or what are the benefits that an organization will accrue from from better human relations in the workplace? Number one, important number one is that there will be employee collaboration and workplace culture. um Maybe you've seen some individuals who have gone to an organization or to a certain maybe career, and even if they are not in their workplace all their setup, you find them maybe when they leave their office, you can still tell this is a person from a certain organization. Why do they do that? Because after working for a particular period of time, one usually get what we call workplace culture. There is how they behave. Like let's take a good example. Um, People like teachers in our villages. When we need maybe people to MC occasions or to talk on behalf of people, we normally tend to go to them because they are used maybe to dealing with people. When we need maybe someone to educate us on something, we go to them. A doctor, they behave in a certain manner. And for this particular culture to be entrenched in a person, one has to relate with each other. And like for example, if that particular teacher went to the profession and he did not relate or she did not relate well with the other employees, he or she is likely not to get that employment workplace culture. So so we are saying that importance number one is that there is employee collaboration. Workers will work as a unit, and there is that aspect of getting the workplace culture. Number two is improving employee retention. Where people work together, they tend to become a family. And where they are treated well, they tend to have a sense of possession, such that that individual feels that he has a place in the organization. So in if the organization is able to keep such individuals, or such individuals are retained in the organization, they don't feel like they would leave the organization. Why? Because there is a place whereby someone is attached to as a result relationship that your workplace. So that's when talk of improving the employee retention. The other one is motivation and productivity, where there is sound human relations in an organization. An individual usually gets what we call an inner drive that keeps him or her moving and working in an organization. Where a person is treated well, he feels he offers himself in such a particular area. But where he's not treated well, he feels as if he's not a part of that particular organization. And therefore, when a person is motivated, he tends to work wholeheartedly. And when someone is working wholeheartedly, there's some benefits that the organization gets from as a result of that. One, his or her productivity increases. If that particular person, he can concentrate on what he or she does. So that is it. But on the other hand, if an individual is not treated well, or is not taken care of in an organization, they feel demoralized, and therefore their spirit goes down. So therefore they will not work as that of an individual who is motivated in an organization. The other one is that it fosters employee creativity. Um, because of the fact that individuals are relating with each other, they can share ideas. And as a result of sharing the ideas, people usually come up with products. If you look at some of the innovations that we have in the world, they have come as a result of people coming together and developing an developing maybe an item or something. Like for example, in our news, maybe I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, you saw that some of our universities are coming up with innovations. And one of it was, I think, Kenyatta University, whereby they created a ventilator. And when you look, if you looked keenly on this particular project, there were people from different faculties. We saw students from the School of Medicine. You saw school from the school people, students from the School of Engineering and pharmacy. All those particular individuals. So if they didn't have good human relations, we won't be talking of a KU which can now make a ventilator. So that's when we are talking of as a result of having good human relationship, employee increases their creativity. So that's when we talk of that. So those are some of the benefits that an organization is likely to enjoy as a result of having or from what we call good human relations. Let's look at now the relations within the office and the company. Um, in an organization, there are mostly two types of relationship that can exist there. One is what we call platonic relationship, or in some cases, um, we have what we call sometimes romantic relationship. And these particular relations are usually brought forward by several reasons, which we shall discuss, or which includes one, um, uh, people working in the same area. So as a result of working in the same area, the, the, the relationship between people usually tends maybe to improve, or people tends to create a certain relationship. And because this is someone that you're working with from day one, maybe from let's say from 8 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m., you will create a relationship. You'll feel like that is maybe is your brother, like your brother. It's like a close friend, because you can share the ideas, you can even share opinions. So that is one of the reasons such a relationship usually exists. Another thing is that sharing of working or equipment. As a result of maybe sharing the equipment or tools of work, people will tend to relate, because like for example, if you're working in an organization and you're sharing maybe a computer, or you're sharing maybe a telephone in an office, maybe you're sharing maybe a desk in an office, that one will have some relationship. The other one is what we call maybe sharing of a job. Sometimes some tasks are done by a group of individuals, and like for example in carpentry, if someone is maybe constructing a seat, there are those people who will be so good in coming up with the wooden frame. So, and there are those who will be so nice in designing the seat. And there are those who are others who are now good in fitting the seat with the materials that makes it now look maybe attractive. And there are those who are now also good in marketing. You can see it is one product, the one job that is being done, but we have brought on board various individuals who are doing that particular task. We, like in that particular case, we talk of someone who will design what kind of a system we want to come up with. We have also talked of us people who will come up with the frame. We've talked of people who will come up with make sure that the seat that has been the seat is fitted with the materials. After that, there are some people who will make the seat has been sold to the market. So that is it. And as a result of having those people sharing the same job, the relationship will exit, or the relationship will be created as a result of that. So those are some of the reasons why the two relationship may exist in an organization. So that is it on that particular case. And this relationship can either be helpful, or at times may also may be detrimental in the growth of an organization. Like for example, if it is a romantic relationship within an organization, and it is not always maybe or maybe smooth, and let's say these two people who had a relationship which of whichever manner, whether it's platonic or any other relationship, if the relationship turns to be sour, whether it was a friendship relationship and you can no longer have that particular relationship, or um, the organization is likely to lose, because you cannot now coordinate well as a unit. Because, like, let's take an example, that example that I had given on carpentry. You're coming up with a seat, and the person who comes up with the seat design cannot talk or cannot see an eye with the person who came up with the, let's say, um, the frame. That's it. That's it. You when the person who is marketing the seed cannot talk with the person who, or the other persons, you'll not be able maybe to market that particular seed. That's one of the disadvantage. The other thing is that they can also be distracting, more so when it is a friendship. Sometimes you may even forget the core thing that brought people together, like maybe selling, and you maybe start maybe having the friendship chat or discussion. So those are some of the disadvantages, but there are so many benefits, like we had also said, looked at under the importance of the human relations in an organization. Because one, if there is proper relations, the one thing that is likely to be there, a task may be completed very fast. When people come together and each and everyone does what he or she is required to do, there is a possibility of finishing what maybe the workers have been allocated very fast and efficiently. There is also another advantage of increasing maybe the output in an organization. Some of even the reputation of an organization, people will like to get some products from such an organization. So that's when we talk of that. Let's look at now ways of improving human relations in an organization or in an office. Because we see most of human relations have more benefits uh, than maybe the demerits, and more so when it's taken well. So, what are the ways that we can use to improve the human relations in an office or an organization? Number one is to provide training. And we said that for an organization to have proper human relations, it is good to train the managers, the supervisors, so as they can focus on how to address the relationship between their employees. Yes, or they can also help maybe to enhance the relationship that is there. We can also even train the workers themselves, maybe on how to work together and maintain a workplace culture and a good relationship with each other. Because as you've seen, each worker needs the other worker, or each employee needs the other employee for the benefits of the organization. The other one is developing our workplace policy with the relationship policy. And this one usually sets the boundaries of what a person can do and what a person cannot do. The limits that can a person can work from within. Yes. So all the boundaries that one cannot exceed. So that's when we talk of developing a workplace relationship policy. The other one is encourage communication with the human relations department. Yes, we say that in our introduction, when you are looking at office or organizations departments, one of it was human relations. And we say that the relations with issues to do with employee, and we said it is all the issues, including the relationship issues. And maybe if there is a dispute, the human relations department should maybe tackle the dispute. Maybe before maybe the issue has escalated, maybe it's good to inform the HR, maybe this maybe, and inform them maybe a problem somewhere is maybe taking place. So, and with them, they'll know how to handle the dispute of an issue. The other one is handling disputes amicably. Um, when you talk of disputes, this is one of the things that usually destroys nations. And everywhere you will go, um, you shall find that as a result of people living in one area, there will be differences, maybe disagreements, or in from maybe in one way or the other. And if these disagreements are not handled well, uh, they will maybe destroy the human relations that exist in an organization. And if handled well, it will improve the relations that exist between the employees in an organization. So we are saying that the disputes um, should be handled very well. So that's when we talk of that. The other thing that an organization may have encouraging or having a clear communication channel. Yes, sometimes the relationship between humans are destroyed by lack of proper communication. And in an organization, it comes when there is no way, clearly indicated channels of communication. And when this occurs, because people do not know how to address their issues, they may collide. Maybe the people do not know to whom they are supposed maybe to report to, and everybody now turns to be the boss. wants to be reported to him or to her. So that one may destroy the relationship between the the employees and with with uh, with each other. So that's when we talk of that. So that is when you talk of the relationship within an organization. Let's now look at the relations with the outside world. I'm hoping we are still moving together. Okay, when you talk of the outside world, we'll be in our business context. We'll be talking of the relationship between the business and other stakeholders. When you talk of the stakeholders, we're talking of people who the business affects or who are affected by the business. Like, for example, the customers will be talking of the shareholders, will be talking of the government and the media and all that. And in some cases, we usually refer to them under one name, the business publics. Yeah. So we'll be talking of now that relationship between a business and its public. And I've already outlined them. I've talked of the kinds of customer. The way there is a way that a business is likely to um, relate with its customer. There is a way the business is likely to relate with its supplier. And these are people who are also important in a business. If a business is not able to relate with its customers, it means that there will be no sales. If a business is not able to relate well with its suppliers, it means that there will be no supply of goods that will be sold. So it means that everybody in an organization is very, very important. And that's when we talk of that. So let's look at now that relationship with the outside world or we will talk of the business and its public. So we say that an organization is concerned with maintaining a healthy relationship with its publics. And when I talk of its publics, I've talked of those external stakeholders, and there are many, like the government, financial institutions, and creditors. I've talked of customers. I've talked of media. I've talked of industrial relations and associations. We've talked of things like labor organizations and all that. So, but let's now look at some of these publics individually and see how the business is supposed to relate with each of those particular stakeholders or external stakeholders. And we shall start with the government relationship. And we see that all organizations are affected in some way or the other by the government and in terms of regulations such as tax policies, business laws, etc. So, and also the impact of these particular bodies will also affect the local market, national market, and international market. There is what we call a mutual relationship between the government and the business. It is a fact that the government cannot exist on its own. It will need some private investors. It will need some private, uh, uh, maybe organizations for it to be able to maybe to supply to or to provide or to complement the government with what it is not able to provide or what it is provided but is not enough. Like, for example, it is the role of the government to provide employment to individuals or to its citizens. But if you look at any government in any part of the world, there is no government that has ever employed all its citizens alone. There is no country that has the highest employability, maybe in terms, sorry, there is no country that has the highlights of employment later. Um, and that one has been achieved by the government alone. There is no such a country. And even those countries that has high percentage rates of employment, you shall find the government employs a certain proportion, whereas the public sector employs the citizens for the other proportion. So therefore, the government and the organization must work together harmoniously for issues like creation of employment. And another thing is that the government needs revenue. And for it to have the revenue, the government will obtain it from this particular organization. So, and this revenue will be collected in form of taxes. The revenue will be, yes, mostly when we are corrected in terms of a business permit. So when we talk of SAT, we we are saying that both need each other. The government needs the business, and also the business needs the government. Because for the business now, it cannot also operate solely. It will need some infrastructures like roads. It will need some infrastructures, other services like security, and in most cases, the government usually supply with that. So and also the actions of organizations usually affect the government both nationally or internationally. Like for example, if we have a business in Kenya and it decides that we will not invest in a country called Kenya, that means Kenya will have lost in terms of maybe the revenue and in terms of the employment that they were getting from the country. And also economically, there is what we call the multiplier effect. We've looked with you economics, and we've looked at the multiplier effect, and we say that when a shilling is paid to a person, that shilling circulates in an economy. And when that shilling circulates in that economy, there is what we call that shillings multiplies itself. And therefore, when the more it moves or the more it circulates in an economy, the more the economy grows. So if there is no source of that particular maybe money, the economy will not circulate. Like in currently, you've seen some of the businesses are not doing well, and therefore the economy is growing at a very, very low rate. What is causing this? Because there is no circulation. So that's when we talk of the government and relationship with the business. The other thing is the financial institution and the creditors. And when we talk of these financial institutions, we are talking of things like banks, creditors, lenders, trade payables, and others. So when you talk of these particular institutions or these particular individuals, these are people who provide finances or stock to the business, and they supply the stock. They are supplying they usually they supply the stock for stock for creditors on credit, so that the business can pay them later or can pay them at a later date. So um there now exists now a relationship between a debtor and a creditor. A creditor here being the supplier who supplies the goods to the farms, and the debtor now becomes the business to the now to the supplier. And if that relationship, if there is no good relationship between the two, each will suffer. And how will this relation, how will each suffer? If, for example, this business cannot be able to get sit down and maybe organize on when they are likely to pay the creditors back, the creditors will not apply to the businesses. And therefore, the businesses will be operating in or maybe no stock or raw stocks. And this the other side that the creditors will not have the sales. Their sales will go down. The turnovers will go down. Why? There is no one who is buying from them. The same case with the financial institutions. When the financial institutions give some money or lend some money to the businesses, they need to have an agreement on how the business will be paying this particular maybe finances that they have been lent to. And they have to agree, maybe if it's on installment, or how will they be paid and how much, and or how often or for how long will that take place. So that's when we talk of that. And if the two do not agree, although the two do not agree on how to pay that, there will be a challenge in that particular case. um Let's not the other people, the other category or the other stakeholders is the consumer and the consumer groups, or consumer and the consumer groups. Whenever a business open its doors, there is someone they target to come, that will come and buy whatever they are selling, whether it's a service, whether it's a service or whether it's a good that they are selling. And therefore, they must, for them to remain in business, they'll have to treat this particular person who is the customer well. For any business to succeed, they must relate with their customers well. Any business that has failed, one of the reasons could be they didn't treat their workers well. Therefore, there is a need for the business to keep up good relations between them and their customers, so that they can relate with each other well, so that they can even have the business customers relationship. They can be even be gauging the quality of services that they are giving to the customers, failure to which the customers will not come and buy from them. Therefore, it's good to they will be retaining that particular thing. And that's why, if you have been keen, one of the highest maybe spending, or one of the ways through which the businesses spends is attracting the customers or drawing customers to themselves. And that's when we talk of that's when we talk of the customers. So they must also relate with the customers well. And when talk of them is maybe by providing to making sure they are satisfied. You remember from our economics class, we say that customers usually go to the market in need of satisfaction, and that this satisfaction is usually gotten in from the quality that they are getting. So that's when we talk of that. The other one is the media. Um, you know that media is a channel or a source of information. Most of information usually flows from the media. If you want to get information about an organization, you can go to the media. Whether it is the mainstream media, the TVs and the others, or if or what we have nowadays, that's the social media, or any medium of communication that can be that is adopted by organization. And this media, the whatever gets the media must be taken care of. You've seen organization do well because of good relationship that they have with the media. You've seen businesses going down because of having bad relations with the media. Like for example, an organization that wants to promote its products maybe to its customers, it usually goes to the media so that they can notify the public that there is this product and we are selling it for this particular amount, or we are targeting these particular people. From the media, they'll be able to know more of the product. Uh-huh. The same media can still destroy the same organization. Like an organization is selling some products, let's say like it is selling a product A, and these products let's say they don't even relate with the media well, so that there is not that good relationship with the media. So the media now gives them what we call negative publicity. They now market the company negatively. They destroy the reputation of the company. So that, and this is also another important prayer when it comes to the external stakeholders. The other one is the industry association. Um, in sometimes companies must join hands with other similar companies to deliver to the customers through things that we call alliances, collaborations, and these have seen those organizations to move to move faster and to reach a better or a wide range of customers when their alliances and collaborations have been created. So if a company wants to get far, and there are other people who are supplying or they are in the same industry, they can do that by supplying to these individuals. And you've seen some organizations doing so well as a result of having association. You've ever heard of mergers? You've ever heard of maybe organizations agreeing to work together as a group, and as a result, the organizations have increased their sales, they have increased their network, and the organization has blossomed. So that's so and any organization must have a good rapport with other industrial players. So that's when you talk of that. So those are some of the external stakeholders or the publics that an organization is likely to relate to with well. Um, there is something that we talked of motivation, and we say that employee motivation is core when it comes to productivity in an organization, or when it comes to employee productivity. So let's look at some of the benefits that an organization gets as a result of have motivating their employees. And there are many ways of motivating the employees. Before we even go to the benefits of motivating the employee, we can look at ways of motivating the employee. How can you increase the morale of your employees? One of the ways of increasing the morale of your employees is through uh, fair remuneration. Talk about remuneration of the how from the studies which have been done, so in various parts of the world, it has shown that employees who are paid well or who are remunerated well, they tend to be more motivated, or they work better than those who are less paid. because one of the things that makes individual to work is the remuneration. The salary usually attracts someone, and that's why most today, even you, because we are preparing you to go to the job market, the first thing that you'll be concerned is, I'll give you my labor services, and you shall ask us, what will we get next? How much will I be paid? How much salary will I get? That's when you talk of the salary on that particular case. Um, and that's now the motivation. That's one of the way of the motivation. The other one is providing employees with the required equipments and tools. Some jobs need some special equipment. Like for example, a doctor needs maybe that particular coat and other protective gear. And if you don't provide doctors with such equipment, if you don't provide doctors with maybe stethoscopes and other things that are required maybe in their work, you don't give them with maybe you don't provide them with maybe the needle, the syringes that they need. Um, Such people will feel demoralized, demotivated to work. So when you provide your employees with the required tools, people tend to they feel motivated to work for you. The other one is good communication. And when you keep on communicating with your workers and informing them of what maybe you are thinking about them, what you are maybe planning about the organization, these people feel that they are part and parcel of the organization, and therefore um, they feel appreciated even to work for you. But if you don't communicate with your employees, you don't provide them, you just do things the way you feel, it may demoralize the workers. It may make workers feel they are unwanted. The other thing is at times providing to the needs of the employees, and not all. This one note, it's not all the needs. You cannot be able to provide to the need to all of your workers' needs, but there are those needs that you can provide. Like for example, a worker has been maybe has maybe a disease, and that disease requires some maybe special attention. Maybe it's someone who needs maybe special diet, and you provide to such a worker, maybe because you provide food to all your workers. You see that his or her effort in that organization is taken into consideration. That's when you talk of providing to the needs of the workers. The other one is involving your workers in the decision making process. Yes, some workers usually feel that they cannot work they are not members of that organization because the decision that are made, they are not part of them. And so even if something is done, they will say, we are doing this because it is ABCD who came up with the decision. But if you want to come up with something and you involve all your employees, these employees will feel it is our decision. So we can work together in achieving the required or desired maybe outcome. That's when you talk of such. So those are some of the ways that an employee can be motivated. So let's look at the benefits of motivated employees. Number one, there is increased employee commitment. Yes, employees who are committed to our work will generally put their best effort in the task that they are assigned to them. You motivate your worker, you work with them. If what I mean by that is that when an employee feel appreciated, they'll give their all to the organization. They'll give their all to the institution. So that's when talk of it increases the employee commitment. Number two is that it increases employee satisfaction. Yes, and that's why you found in some organization the labor turnover is usually very high, and in some cases the labor turnover is very low. When an employee is motivated well, if he or she feels satisfied and tends to remain in the organization for years. And that's that is it. So because this employee feels yes, the organization uh, recognizes what I offer, and I'm good to work in such an organization. So that's when you talk of it improves the employee satisfaction. The other one is that um, uh, it improves employee efficiency because uh, the organization, because the employee is motivated, he feels that he is a part of the organization, and even what he is doing, all his mind and attention is in on the organization. Therefore, whatever he or she will do it with a high degree of efficiency, or he will do with a lot of attention. And if an employee attention is maybe it's focused on a certain job, that means also the employee will be efficient. So that is it. Another way is that it increases the organization productivity. Yes, as a result of proper uh, um, maybe motivation in the of employees, what their productivity increases because we say that one, they will focus, their mind will be on what they do, their loyalty will be on their employer. So whatever they will do focused on what they were employed. So the output per worker will also increase. The other one is that the quality of products made or produced will also be very high because someone is committed to what he is doing. Uh, they will tend to they will tend to give their best, and as a result, there will be high quality products that will be produced. So that's when you talk of employee motivation and how it benefits an organization. And that marks the end of that particular topic on human relations. I will now, first of all, listen to you. If someone has a question, if someone has maybe a query, I attend to it before I direct you on what to do next. I will give that chance uh, to all of you, and I'll start with Adhiambo Otieno. Adhiambo Otieno, any question or query, or anyone who has a query? If I see your mic on, I will give you that chance first. And if you hear that someone is talking, please unmute your mic and I will also give you a chance. Yes. Anybody with a question or a comment? Michelle? Yes, Michelle?
No.
Oh, okay. Machama Valentine.
I don't have now.
Yes, Valentine. Okay. Miriam Wanjiro.
No, I don't have.
Okay. Kariuki Lecho. Lecho Kariuki. Yes, Lecho Machama, mute your mic. Lecho Kariuki. Okay. Caroline Wangari. Derek Sai.
I don't have any question.
Yelel. Delik. Okay, Delik. Delik. The other person is Mutika Elvin.